Hi, my name is Pete, here to introduce you to my new application called JotYou. You can fly over the various functions and see how to use the system, how to download, depending on what sort of device you have, whether it's Java, Windows Mobile, or also where.com. If you click right here on Getting Started, it'll explain how to set it up on your phone and also give some examples of usage. So what is JotYou and how does it differ from email or SMS? JotYou is location-based messaging. Here are the three things you can do with JotYou: send messages, see your messages, and participate in tracking groups. Here's one simple use case for JotYou. I'm in the Encinitas, California area. I'm going to zoom to that address on the map. I'm going to specify a target delivery area. Let me adjust it around just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to actually make it a little bit smaller so it's more specific. And then I'm going to send a message to Bob, Sally, and Peter T. I'm going to say that the message can be sent immediately. I could delay the delivery of the message here, but just leaving it blank is a zero delay. And it's going to expire 2 hours from the time that it's sent. And the message is simply, "Hi Bob and Sally, I'm going to Starbucks. Stop by to say hi." This is where it differs from SMS or email. See, they're not going to get that message unless they are in the area. So I don't need to say stop by in case you're in the area, because I already know they're in the area because they got the message. And again, I know that because I specified this target area. Actually, you know what? Let's make it just a little bit bigger, just in case. Okay, now Bob has a Windows mobile device. And this is Sally. She looks very happy to have this trendy Nokia N95. And I'll be user Peter T with this BlackBerry. So I'm going to show you how messages are sent and received from each of these handsets, as well as using where.com, which works on any of the Sprint CDMA phones. Here's a very simple use case. I've entered Carlsbad, California. I've zoomed to the address on the map. I'm going to specify a target delivery area, send a message to myself as Sally, and the message is simply going to be, "Remember the milk." And what's going to happen is, as I drive through this target area, I'm going to get that message on my mobile phone and a beep that says, "Remember the milk." Here's an example of how you can use JotYou for a scavenger hunt. I've entered La Jolla, California, and zoomed to this address on the map. Now I'm going to specify a target delivery area, make it a little bit bigger, and my recipients are Sally, Bob, and Peter T. The message is, next meeting point is at San Diego State University, and that's going to expire in 2 hours, and I'm going to send that message now. Now I've created another message. I'm going to send it to San Diego State University, zoom to that area on the map. I'm going to specify again a target area. Let's go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. And again, I'm still sending the message to Sally, Bob, and Peter T. I'm going to send this one a half hour from now. It's going to expire 2 hours after it's sent. And the message is, go to the bookstore and buy a bumper sticker. Then it says, next meeting point is Del Mar. Now I'm going to send the message for Del Mar. I'm going to zoom to that address. It's going to bring us about to the racetrack area. Del Mar is kind of a big place, so I'm going to specify a nice big alert radius because I want them to be able to get the message, depending on which way they come into the area. Again, I'm sending it to Bob, Sally, and Peter T. I'm going to send it an hour from now and have it expire in 2 hours. And the message is, go to Rusty's surf shop and get a t-shirt, then go back to La Jolla. Last one there is a rotten egg. And here's the final message to La Jolla, California. We're going to specify again a nice big target area. Let's center it around a little bit. Again, the message is to Bob, Sally, and Peter T. I'm going to send it in an hour and a half. It's going to expire in 2 hours. And the message is, go to Symbolic Motors and take a picture of yourself next to a purple Lamborghini. After that, it's all done. Let's meet at Crabcatcher. And one little note, the reason the delivery times are delayed, in this case the last message to La Jolla is 1.5 hours, is so that if somebody goes to La Jolla earlier, they won't get that message. See, we started in La Jolla, and if that time was 0, then this message would be delivered now rather than at the end of the game. So again, I put 1.5 hours so that they get it after they've gone to San Diego State University and then Del Mar and then back to La Jolla. Okay, now let's look at how we can use tracking group. I've created a tracking group called Bob and Sally's Trip, and I can click here to manage this group. And I've invited Bob, Sally, and Peter T. I can enable tracking in the group. I can say who can view the tracking map, the members of the group, everyone on the internet, or only the group owner. And here I can invite and uninvite members from the group. I can also view the participants' locations on the map. This is the tracker map for Bob and Sally's trip. You can see them traveling from La Jolla to San Diego State University, up to Del Mar, and back to La Jolla. You can see the legend down at the bottom. We can click on these icons and see the times that Bob and Sally and Peter T were at each location. Sally can also track the location of Bob and Peter T using the map in her JotYou application. Now I can click here to see the messages that I've sent. Since I just sent these messages, they're going to be queued. These right here are the messages that I've sent. Since these messages had locations specified, we can view where they were sent on the map. We can see that this message here was sent to La Jolla. Sally has a GPS-enabled Nokia N95, and she is going to run the where.com version of JotYou. This is test message 1 to Sally. And there's the message. Here's test message 2 to Sally. And there's the message, and you can see that it shows up before the first message, so they just queue up. Get too many messages on the screen, you can clear your jots. Here Sally is now running the J2ME version of JotYou, also on her N95. The latitude and longitude are scrolling across the top. We're now going to send test message 3 to Sally. And there's the message. Here's Bob. You can probably see he's pretty happy to have this AT&T Tilt, which is also the T-Mobile wing. Now hopefully you can see here what's cool about this Windows Mobile version is that it can use either GPS mode or it can use wireless positioning mode. This is using technology from Skyhook Wireless. Works pretty well. It determines your location based on wireless access points in the area, even if it is unable to connect to those wireless access points. This message is to Bob, and the message is, "What's up, Bob?" And there's the message to Bob. Here I have a BlackBerry with user Peter T. I'm going to start the JotYou application. This is a GPS-enabled BlackBerry. The ticker across the bottom says that it's attempting to get the location. This message is to Peter T, and the message content is just message to Peter T's BlackBerry. I had to walk outside to get a GPS fix this time, but you can see it's got the Latin long right there. And there's the message to Peter T's BlackBerry. Let's say Sally is driving by the store and she remembers that she should pick up the milk on the way home. All of the examples I've shown so far have shown sending messages from the computer to a mobile phone using JotYou. This is how you send a message from a mobile phone to a mobile phone using JotYou. First, an example of Sally sending a message to herself. She's just going to select Jot Someone. In this first example, we're just going to press send. We're not going to fill in any of the fields. So the Jot Who is going to be to herself, the Jot When is going to be now, the Jot Where is going to be at the current latitude and longitude as the phone can determine, and Jot What is going to be empty. Note that the message is received immediately, and that is probably not what you want if you wanted a reminder on the way back to pick up the milk at the store. So really what Sally should have done, I'm going to go ahead and clear the jots here, is send a message to herself, possibly said Jot in 1 hour, and maybe even just put in R T M and send. That's remember the milk. That tells her remember the milk. Here's the message that Sally sent to herself with a text RTM for remember the milk. And here is the area that the message was sent to. So when Sally comes back into this area, that is when she's going to get the message. Sally can send a message to herself, but she can also send a message to Bob. In this case, she's going to send a message to Bob. She's going to send it now. The location is going to be 100 El Camino Real, and I put in the zip code 92024. It's always better to put in the zip code if you don't know that the street address is unique. And then the message is simply, I'm at Starbucks. So when Bob gets this message, he's going to know that Sally is at the closest Starbucks. He looks very happy to have received the message from Sally that says, I'm at Starbucks. And again, the difference between JotYou and something like SMS or email is the message that Sally sent to Bob was for a specific area. In other words, Bob would only get that message if he was indeed in the area of Starbucks. Now, unless Sally previously communicated with Bob, she wouldn't know that he's in the area of Starbucks, but she could send a message to all of her friends just in case they were in the area of Starbucks. This is the message that Sally sent to Bob. I'm at Starbucks. If we click View on Map, we can see the area where Bob would need to be to get that message. Thanks for joining me, or should I say us, and I sincerely look forward to hearing about all of the innovative ways that you come up with to use JotYou.